What is up, everybody? It's March 1st. It's like 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Just got a package in the mail today from Amazon, of course. It's 1.5 inch wheel spacers. I ordered some 35-inch tires recently. I'm planning on using the same rims that are on the vehicle right now. Roscoe's giving me a hand here, aren't you, buddy? These bad boys right here. I didn't want to spend money on new wheels, so I figured I'd just reuse the ones I got, save a little bit of dough. I wasn't sure if the new tires were going to fit. I currently have 10-inch wide tires on there, and I'm upgrading to 12.5-inch wide tires, so I bought 1.5-inch wheel spacers, and I was hoping to get the tires mounted tomorrow before I head over to Leo's to install the lift kit this weekend. So just going to do a quick unboxing, check these things out, and you stick them on one of the wheels. Give you a quick rundown of how that gets put on, and we're not going to do all 4 wheels. Every wheel is pretty much the same as the first wheel, so should be a quick, easy video for you guys today. So we got the YITAMotor wheel spacer leveling kit. Not sure why it's called a leveling kit. Maybe these can be used for something else besides wheels. Comes with a set of 4. I think like 80 bucks for all 4. Made out of steel, obviously in China. But we're gonna put these on nice and tight, make sure that they don't go anywhere. Follow the instructions, make sure everything's torqued to spec, and we'll go over all that. Pretty basic packaging here, nothing really too crazy going on. So these are the 5-on-5 bolt pattern for the Jeep JK. Looks like the existing lugs just go through these holes here. Put the lug nuts back on, and then we'll add our lugs to these. I actually have wheel locks for these wheels, so I'm just going to use these lugs here, and then I'm going to put my wheel locks on here to hold the wheels on. Alright, so obviously first things first, we need to take the lug nuts off to get this wheel off. Mine happened to be 19mm, which goes with my wheel lock, fancy wheel lock. Yes, the dog is very curious, thinks this is a treat. What are you doing? What are you doing? You want to help? You want to help? You want some kisses? Go inside. Alright, so pretty basic stuff here. We just got to take the wheel off, which means we got to take the lug nuts off. Like I said, mine have a wheel lock that I keep in my glove box. 19mm socket, breaker bar, Home Depot bucket to sit on because I'm old and my knees hurt. If you don't know how to take off a tire, I'm not sure why you're watching this. If you don't know how to take off a tire, and you want to learn how to take off a tire, I'm going to go through this very basic thing with you. So my wheels have 5 lug nuts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This particular socket is specially made for these so that nobody can steal these incredible rims. These things are super old. They're actually chrome. This is Plastidip painted over top of the chrome. They're in pretty rough shape. I don't really care. I'm not trying to spend money on new rims. So these ones are getting reused. I'm gonna put the spacers on to bring these out a little bit away from the hub. Make a little more room for the wider tires. Like I said before, these are 10-inch wide, and the new tires are 12.5 inches wide. You just want to loosen up each lug. You don't want to take them all the way off. that's pretty much it. These are all loose now, so what we're gonna do is jack up the car and then we'll take them the rest of the way off. All right, so now we're under the car. I know a bunch of you Jeep guys are like freaking the hell out because I keep calling this a car. We're under the Jeep, but this applies to pretty much any car. I've got a handy dandy bottle jack here, which I love using. Super compact and small. It's really easy to get around. I leave it right in the little compartment in the rear of the Jeep. Gets me just high enough to get the wheel off the ground, so it makes it super easy and super fast to change the tire, change the wheel. After this weekend, it will be useless because the vehicle will be too high off the ground to jack up with this jack anymore. So I had to buy a high lift jack. We'll go over that more in a different episode. So what I'm going to do is just jack it up off the axle here. And all we want is for the Jeep, for the wheel to be just high enough off the ground to get the wheel off. It really can just be a hair. It doesn't have to be way up in the air. That's pretty much it. I don't know if you can tell. It's a little dark in here, but you can see I can stick my finger underneath this. The wheel is turning, so we're high enough off the ground to get that tire off. Next thing we want to do is stick a jack stand underneath. You don't want to work on a car when it's jacked up on just a jack alone. You want a stand on there in case the jack fails. So we'll go get that. Alright, so now that we got the car jacked up enough and the wheels off the ground, we're just going to loosen up the lug nuts the rest of the way, take the tire off, and then we'll be putting the wheel hub on, bolting that down, putting the tire back on. Super simple process. These are coming off pretty easy. It's the fifth one. And now the wheel should come right off. Alright, so we got 5 lugs here that we just took those nuts off of, and we're going to put the wheel spacer on, and we're going to put the new lug nuts where these used to be, because we're going to use these on the outside so that the wheel's still locked and can't be stolen. Cool. All 5 nuts are off. Just fits on there nice and snug, just like that. I'm going to take the lugs that came with these spacers. I'm going to put them on the inside here. On all 5 of these. And then we're going to torque them down just like anything else. Alright, so we actually have to tighten these pretty good. We don't want the wheel coming off. Normally you would be able to tighten the lugs as you set the vehicle on the ground, and all the weight of the vehicle keeps the wheel in place so that when you pull the wrench, you know, you're able to tighten everything up. Since we're up in the air, you'll see that the wheel is going to spin freely, so there's a little trick. What we got here in the rotor is these little channels, which I believe are to help move air and keep the rotor cool. Since we got to tighten in a clockwise direction, here to here, we're just going to stick a screwdriver right here. And then as this rotates, the screwdriver will hit the caliper and it will stop the rotor from rotating. And then we should be able to do our 100 foot-pounds of torque to make sure that these are not going anywhere. So yeah, pretty simple screwdriver. You want something nice and thick that's not going to bend, you know, if you plan on using the screwdriver again. Just a little flat head here. Stick it in that channel and that will stop the wheel from spinning backwards and preventing us from torquing everything. So this is a torque wrench. It can be picked up at most hardware stores, auto parts stores, pretty inexpensively. I think this was like 30 bucks. You can set how many pounds of pressure you want the wrench to stop at, so you know exactly how much torque you're tweaking everything to. You basically set it by twisting this knob on the handle. There's numbers here, and then you tighten it up and it'll make a popping sound when you get to the pressure that you've set. I've set this at 120. In the manual it says to, you know, torque the lug nuts to anywhere from 85 pounds to I think 125. So just to be safe, we're gonna torque these to 120 for the hub, and then we'll do the lugs at 100 to hold the wheel on. Should be enough to hold. I just kind of want to get these not to the point that they're popping, but pretty tight, so that we can make sure that this spacer goes on nice and even, so it's not crooked at all. If it goes on crooked, then the wheel's going to shake. It's going to be no bueno. Kind of just want to do a star pattern. You know, you don't want to go in a circle really until they're all pretty squared up. And that's the sound you're listening for there, a little popping sound. That's how we know we're at exactly 125 pounds. Check them all again. And we're good. Wheel spacers on. Now we just got to put the wheel back on. Don't forget to take your screwdriver. Put these on just tight enough to square the wheel up, so you know it's not crooked, and then you'll tighten them to whatever the specifications are in your manual once the car's back on the ground.
That's pretty much it. I mean, it took about 15 minutes. Jeep's got a much wider stance now, 1.5 inches wider to be exact. And that's pretty much it. Pretty easy to do. I'm just gonna do that 3 more times for the other 3 tires. And tomorrow I'll be bringing in the Jeep to the tire place to get the new tires mounted, balanced, and installed on the Jeep. And then I'll be heading to Leo's house to install the lift, all the body armor, the fenders, all that fun stuff. So looking forward to that. If you guys found this video helpful, give me a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? If you really, really love our stuff, make sure you ring the notification bell so that you get notified every time we have a new video up. Just want to thank everybody for watching. Trailspin TV. Until next time, guys. Peace.